Top of the Spectrum News.
Welcome to Top of the Spectrum News. I'm Jennifer Allen, the creator of Aspergers 101.
And I'm Samuel Allen, Jennifer Allen's son. I have Aspergers Syndrome, and we're here to help.
And we want to help. And that is being today's topic, is Asperger's Syndrome and college. Can the two be combined? You bet they can. We have a guest that has proven this many times over, Dr. Marc Ellison with Marshall University in West Virginia. Our topic for the day is going to be social skills in college. And Sam is currently a student here in San Antonio, a college student. And so you can, of course, chime in at any time about social skills. And Dr. Marc Ellison, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Tell us a little bit about the program there at Marshall University.
Well, we are located at Marshall University, and our agency within the university is called the West Virginia Autism Training Center. We do statewide services, but our on-campus service is called the College Program for Students with Autism Spectrum Disorders. It's been around since 2002, and in that 14 or 12-year period, we've supported well over 100 college students, and we're really proud of the program. We have about a 94% success rate in terms of people who've enrolled in our program for support. 94% of those folks have graduated or are on track to graduate.
Oh my, those statistics are fabulous, especially when you hear the statistics of how many don't ever even make it to higher education. So,
and I would just add that currently we have 53 full-time students that we are supporting this semester.
That's a big load. And our question today, when we're going to look at social skills, that is such a delicate area, because those with Asperger's syndrome so often have such a challenge with, of course, social skills. And that's all college life is. And if they're not, say, living at home and going to college the way Sam is, then they're off, and everything is about social skills. How do you make it work there?
Oh, I agree. I think you said it perfectly. The social skill aspect is, in my opinion, the absolute most critical aspect of college success, especially with this population. Students with Asperger's syndrome are likely going to be okay with academics, generally. Maybe some help with organization, those kinds of things, but they're going to be okay. But it really is the social piece, and developing social networks is critical. Being part of a community on campus is critical. Classroom and social etiquette in the dorms is critical. So what we do in our college support program is help identify what those needs are early, set up strategies that usually involve coaching and peer mentoring primarily to help students learn those skills and then carry them out. And we also have, in addition to one-to-one mentoring, we have skill building groups that people meet in 2 or 3 times a week to learn different social skills.
So all this is alongside their regular studies, their regular curriculum.
It is. It's an additional load to their life, but I think in the long run, it makes things better.
Give us an example. What is it that somebody could do to even practice these skills, say, if they're not at Marshall University, and one of the largest obstacles for them in going to college is the absolute fear of meeting new people? Is there any one example or two that you could give or offer that people could use in their own lives?
Well, in terms of a strategy, if that's what you're asking, I think one of the things that people can do is really just learn to anticipate and think about what they're likely to experience. I think most of the students that we support sometimes are very much in the moment, and they haven't fully thought out who they might interact with, how they may interact with them. And I think just being able to anticipate what's going to happen is a really important skill to have and something to develop. And I think the other thing would be to learn to watch other people and figure out what has been successful for people that you admire, and learn to kind of make those traits your own. Lots of people, for instance, may be shy, and they have a friend who's not so shy and quite good in groups. watch that behavior and kind of learn to mimic it in some way, it's a really helpful thing to do.
It is. I'll pass something on to Sam. As far as even meeting people, I think you had a great teacher, Dr. Temple Grandin, had told you about shaking her hand. You want to tell that story? I think that's interesting.
We were visiting one of her conferences here in San Antonio, and eventually after the conference we met her for a second time, because we met her before that. But I went up to her, shook her hand. You told her that we've met before, and she said something like, "Whoa, you're gonna shake my hand right off."
That sounds just like her. Yes.
So she taught me the proper etiquette of how to properly shake hands, and we even got to eat lunch with her afterwards.
But just even to learn, it's a learned behavior for a lot of these people, how to shake a hand and how to greet somebody. And it's almost scripted. It's almost like you're an actor. Is that how you do it there at Marshall?
Very much how we do it. There's a real theatrical process to it. And Sam, I'm curious if I may ask you this. Did that affect how you shake hands with people in the future? Do you anticipate that before you shake hands with them now?
From time to time, I do remember that scenario, but I just get, after that, I just give people a, moderate but firm handshake.
There you go. Good deal.
And always greets people very well. You'll go up and Sam will look them in the eye and shake their hand and, "Hello, I'm Sam, how are you?" And I think that works. It's a nice way to, break the ice and get to know people. Does that seem to work?
Yeah, it works.
It works for you.
Well, I think just like anything that you're trying to learn, it's always about putting it into practical experience and using it as often as possible.
Any other gems, Dr. Ellison, that you could leave us with for anybody that is watching right now and they're considering going to college and the social skills element seems a little just too big? Is there anything you can leave us with?
Well, one of the things I was involved with peripherally with a research study several years ago, which really talked about anxiety and stress being a significant problem in terms of academic outcomes for students with Aspergers syndrome in college. And one of the recommendations that came from that research was to really work on getting the anxiety and the stress kind of under control in however way that you do that prior to go. And that's one of the recommendations I would make, is to really ahead of time anticipate that it's going to happen and figure out some process for that. The other suggestion is to get out on campuses and have a practical experience in some way, even if it's visiting a college, even if it's just touring the campus, getting to know people, or some more formal program. Get out, spend time there, get to know the layout, and you'll feel much more comfortable and get to know some people.
Excellent recommendations for us all. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Ellison, today, and we look forward to hearing more in our series with you on college. And those recommendations, I think, hit very strong to home, such as one when he recommended about the anxiety, with what you take for anxiety.
Oh, yeah. Fluoxetine.
Yeah, he takes a fluoxetine, which is a very mild anti-anxiety, and I think that's about all you've really been on. But that seems to have curbed that, and I think you functioned very well with it. Of course, we're not doctors, and that's something that you have to discuss with your own doctor, of course. But that is one element of how it can work. And then get to know, as Dr. Ellison said, get to know the college. Go look, tour it, see what it's all about, because once you get to know and get a feeling of it, it's not going to seem so foreign and so frightening for the person with Asperger's. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Top of the Spectrum News, and we hope you join us again soon.